Hello, my name is Ilona. I just finished my Dutch live and I'm going to do a recap. So, a few questions that can be interesting for people outside of the Netherlands as well. There were, of course, a few questions about the Netherlands, but I didn't think it was that interesting for other people. So, I really picked a few questions, 6 in total. So, I'm going to start with the first question. And that's really about Germany, what's going on there with the farmers. And there were questions whether it is dark energy or not. There are more messages coming out that it's most likely actually by the dark energies. And they purposely did this to take over and take the food over and things like that. So I just wanted to take a look at that. Cards I got was Temperance. I got the 10 of Swords. I've got the Wheel of Fortune. And I got the Death card. This was at the back of the deck when I was looking at it. And I was just drawn to it, so that's why I taken this card as well. As we can see, it feels this is more balancing things. I'm not going to deny, I'm sure there are dark energies working in that as well. Obviously in the union that started it, they've placed people on all kinds of positions. But as you can see now that it's inspiring, it is growing. Things are starting to move energy-wise. We've got 3 major arcana cards. This is very important. And especially with the Temperance cards, this is about balance, returning to balance. People are fed up with this. This is like a radical change. This is like an ending card. So to me, this actually just brings things in motion. If you see how big it is happening right now with all these countries, all these people joining in. We've got fishermen joining in, truckers joining in, Romania, Belgium, Netherlands, France, Poland. So many people are supporting this. And it's very important to understand that this happened with the truckers in Canada as well, especially when it was getting so big. They started, all these, there were some messages about, really the dark energies are behind this, so don't support them. I have a feeling, of course, there are going to be dark energies in there. You're not going to stop that. But I do believe that now it's really something bigger than that, and it's massive in the energy. And when it starts changing energetically, it's going to change in reality. And that's so important to understand, that the energy is so important. This inspires people. People are starting to see that other people are fed up with this. This is like joining together. And what I got from my card readings yesterday about this was that people are starting to cooperate, starting to work together. And that is so important. That's what they don't want. They want divide and conquer. So I'm sure there were a few that were hoping that this would get completely out of control, so they could use force, and they could use this to put the farmers in a certain corner. They've tried that in the Netherlands as well, and in France and in other countries when farmers are starting to rise up. But this is so much bigger, and there is so much solidarity going on. It's just beautiful to see, and I'm sure that's not what they had in mind. So this is really about endings. And I think that this will end certain things. It won't be visible right away, but things in the energy are changing. So don't expect now that everything is going to be happy and, in Germany, they're liberated, everything is fine. No, but this will put things in motion. This will change things. So that's important to see. So let's see, I need this card as well. Here, and here we need this card as well. Obviously I shuffle again and again, so sometimes the same card pops up in different questions, different readings. So the second one was about Miami, and at first was what's going on with Miami, but apparently there are aliens in Miami. I did catch some of it, but I kind of just haven't really paid attention. And like I mentioned, I just returned, so I had a lot of catching up, and there were also other things I had to do today and yesterday. I have a lot of consultations. I even had to go to the dentist today. Everything is fine, luckily, but anyway, those things need to be done as well. But interesting enough, my first thought was this is a false flag. So I thought really there's probably something with the dark energies that's connected to it. I haven't really read about this, but I started to see that it was quite outrageous what was happening. And interesting enough, the first card that pops up was the Knight of Wands. To me, always kind of a white hat influences. So we have the Five of Swords and the Empress. So I think this was purposely done by the Whiteheads to exaggerate things, to make it completely ridiculous. So it would look like it was a distraction from a certain, names that being revealed in certain case. So I think they purposely did this. It's also putting, making people not fall for it anymore, because it's if I'm not mistaken, in the reaction I got the feeling that a blue beam was used in a way, and I think this is also about waking up people, showing what can be done, how they can use things. So this is really about waking up people as well. So I do think they're ultimately Whitehead influences doing this and really making it so outrageous. Like in Miami, I believe in like a supermarket or something. It's just the thought of it, something so mundane. It's a bunch of aliens walking around the supermarket. Anyway, it feels to me like it was purposely done to make it as ridiculous as possible. Now let's see, the third question was about animals worldwide and just in general, that they are acting differently and how they are affected by the energy. So I just looked at the energy of animals right now. They've got temperance, they have the Five of Pentacles and the Knight of Pentacles. So they are here also to balance things, but they do sense the collective fear, the collective, people are hit in their basic needs, financially, security. So they are, of course, going to feel that all these collective energies are, around us. A lot of people that are highly sensitive will sense them. All these heavy energies are now coming to light, are now being shown and in a way released. And they are balancing that as well. They really are just taking care on a very stable way. They have a different way of dealing with energy, so they can very much be affected. And some animals even take certain things, if they're pets, from people, take certain things from the people they are, their owners. They will take that in and actually take that away from their owners. But I do believe that worldwide animals are stabilizing things, balancing things, but they are reacting to all this collective fear of what is going on, what's happening, the lower energies, they react to that as well. But they very slowly are building a new basis as well. That's what they do. They are really beautiful and they are completely different in how we deal with energies. We can still have our own perspective on things, not wanting to deal with things, but animals just take it in. They just take it as it is. That's why they really live in the moment. And we are living or in the past or in the future. Not a lot of us are really living in the present. And it's very important that we start doing that, because really there's only now, right now. There's nothing else at the moment, of course. But I do understand. I have the same thing, that I sometimes think about the future and sometimes, deal with things that are connected to the past. But it's very important that we start focusing more and more on what is happening right now. Just like animals, they live in the moment. Let's see. This was a question about the royal houses. So the energy of the royal houses. And we have got a few, of course. The Netherlands have a royal house. Belgium, Great Britain, Denmark, Sweden. So I just wanted to, in general, I have a feeling a lot of things have already been changed in those areas with the royal houses and the people in there. But I thought it was interesting to see what the energy is now. That's the Two of Wands, the Moon, and the Six of Cups. This is a children's card, so I'm not going to emphasize this. I do think that most people that are watching my videos will understand what this is connected to with royal houses and children. It will come out. It will all come out. But we have the Moon and the Two of Wands, so it's all standing still. Not much is moving. Wouldn't surprise me if things have changed already. But we've got the Moon. We've got an illusion. It's like we don't really see what's truly going on there. It's like these puppet show. Just like with the governments everywhere around the world. These puppet shows are being shown. That's what it feels like to me. So in a way, it's not that strange that people are talking about a movie. Because in a way, it's almost what you're looking at. It's just being acted and shown, but we don't really truly see what's going on. So I don't think there's a lot left for the royal houses or left in the royal houses. That's the feeling I'm getting. It's like an empty shell to me. Just like a lot of institutions like the WHO, the WEF, The European Union, NATO, it feels empty to me. And then we have South Africa. Thought it was interesting. Apparently there are tests being done with the emergency broadcast system. Apparently a movie about things. I of course don't know exactly what's going on in South Africa. But I wanted to see what the energies was. First card I got was the Page of Cups. So something's being given to the people there. And then I got 4 cards. We've got the Emperor. We've got the 7 of Cups. We've got the 10 of Swords again. And the Justice card. So I think this is really about waking up people. And I think the military are behind all these things happening right now. It has to do with radical change and justice. So I do think they are preparing people, but also to wake up people, to show them something's up, something is going on. A lot of things are going on and they need to start seeing it. So they start breaking out of this trance. So I think that's happening now in South Africa. So I think the Emperor, the military, and I do believe the white hat military, that's how I view them, is behind this to make changes, to a radical change that's most likely going to happen, and justice being served. So that's the feeling I'm getting for South Africa. And the last question, and I have a few cards I need to change. So I've already had them in the other reading, and then I use these little cards to make sure that I don't forget that I have to add the bigger card to it. Let's see, that was about Davos. And that is, of course, from 15th of January till 19th of January, they're getting together again for the World Economic Forum. And people want to know, what is the energy? And interesting enough, the first card I got was the Knight of Wands with, I think, together with the Wheel of Fortune. And then we have the, let's see, the Pentacle 6, yes, and the 10 of Swords, in that order. I think they're going to get new commands, orders, and most likely from white hats that will put things in motion again. This is about balancing things and an ending. And it's very interesting that this card shows up in a lot of the readings during my life. I do think we are in an end phase, in an end game. I don't know how long this game is going to last, but we are in like an ending phase. That's what I'm feeling. And of course, I've been saying for a while now that we are in a rough area, but you can just see that things are ending in a way. So that's the feeling I've got from Davos. I think all the people there, it's really about getting new orders, putting things in motion, getting things going again. And this will just lead to more balance and ultimately to shutting things down. So that's what I'm getting. I'd like to leave it at this. Hope to see you in another video. Bye.